Halo Reach was perhaps the most divisive game among legacy Halo players. It's the game that began moving the series in a different direction rather than continuing to build on top of an already solid foundation. For many players, this was a welcome change of pace, but for many others, it was a change that made the game move further away from Halo and more into the generic sci-fi first-person shooter. But while much of the community even today remains divided on the progress of Halo Reach, it was far from being the most dividing and devastating thing to ever happen to Halo. And now, it's time we face this cataclysmic event head on. Hey guys, it's the Tyrant here, continuing with Halo the Rise and Fall. And I want to pose a question to you. Yes, you, the person watching this video right now. If you consider yourself a longtime Halo fan who isn't happy with the current state of the franchise, who or what do you blame? Is it an individual feature? Is it the direction of the story? Now I'm going to do a magic trick. I'm going to read your mind. Let's see, right now you're thinking of 343 Industries taking over Halo! Alright, now even you have to admit that for most people, their minds were just blown, right? In 2011, a decade-long partnership between Bungie Studios and Microsoft came to an end. This is an event we've come to know as the Great Halo Schism. This was the event that forever divided a vast community of decade-long dedicated fans. As for why this occurred, the on-the-surface reason is that there were creative differences between Bungie and Microsoft. Those differences mainly revolved around the direction Bungie wanted to go, and that direction wasn't Halo. In fact, we don't even truly know if Halo 3 ODST and Halo Reach were really supposed to happen. This wasn't a sudden occurrence, this had been brewing for quite some time. Halo 3 was supposed to be the game where we finished the fight. But Microsoft put the smackdown on that idea and said, no, you owe us at least 2 more Halo games, and after that you can go your own way, but Halo stays with us. We don't even really know if Bungie wanted to suspend the concept of Halo indefinitely. Maybe they just wanted to put Halo on a hiatus for a while they tried something new. Regardless, Halo was Microsoft's baby, and they weren't about to let it fall to the wayside. The community was left in a complete daze. Where do you go from here? What do you do? Who do you follow? Do you follow the game that brought you to Bungie? Or do you follow Bungie that brought the game to you? And this didn't just impact individual fans. There were several other communities within the Halo community who felt the immediate blow. They had just lost their biggest supporter, and it was devastating. For my own community, I had been building it for over 3 years before Bungie handed Halo over to Microsoft, and the Mythic community depended on Bungie to help us spread the word to Halo fans about how to get the most out of their campaign experience. YouTube views plummeted, the number of Mythic completionists dropped, and the enthusiasm began slipping away. Now I know what you're thinking. Of course that's all you care about, Tyrant, your own community. Not at all. What happened to the Mythic community was happening to many others as well. Maybe they were a community you felt close to and followed regularly. Think of communities like Ready Up Live led by Greenskull, or the 405th, the King of Halo cosplay, or even the Griffball community. We all felt a sense of loss, and those of us who led those communities, and many of us that still do, did our best to keep our communities together and move forward. 343 Industries, a company created by Microsoft for the sole purpose of creating Halo content, arrived on the scene to assume the role of responsibility, extending a warm hand to community leaders and fans alike from across the board, myself included. And it wasn't like these were new kids on the block or people completely alien to the concept of Halo. These are real Halo fans. Some of them were even former Bungie employees, but it didn't change the fact that it was still not Bungie, the company that we had come to know and love over the past decade, and for some folks, even longer. It felt like your parents had just gotten divorced, and now someone new was stepping into the picture. And this wasn't even an evil step-parent either. 343 Industries made it clear from the get-go that they were there for us and only served to make us happy. They needed us just as much as we needed them to continue carrying on the Halo torch. But sometimes when that step-parent enters the picture, that also means moving day isn't too far off. Bungie.net had served as a home for Halo fans for 10 years, and simply packing up and moving to an entirely new website with an entirely new layout was a jarring effect. As a result, many Halo fans continued to stick with the Bungie.net forums, and you know what? Some never left. None of us were really sure what the right decision was. Maybe leaving Bungie and Halo well enough alone was the right way to go. Maybe letting Bungie keep the rights to Halo would have been the better move, even if it meant the series was placed on hold for a bit while Bungie worked on other games. Or even if other Halo games were never to come. At least the community could move forward together. We'd all still be in one place, but that's not what happened. The schism occurred, and both parties were left to pick up the pieces. And 343 worked tirelessly to please the Halo fan base with the promise of a remastered Halo Combat Evolved and even adding in 7 classic multiplayer maps to Halo Reach. And even I have to admit, one of their greatest achievements was what they did to Halo Reach. They carefully listened to the concerns of the fans and did their best to address them. They created fresh new maps for Halo Reach's multiplayer, with many of them being vast and beautiful, and they even improved Firefight mode by adding larger maps, returning us to the original Halo ring, and even adding in friendly AI to join in on the madness. And once Halo Anniversary was released, they added a classic-style playlist that allowed players to experience Halo Reach without the new armor abilities and loadouts, while still being able to enjoy the modern graphics and game engine. They listened, and they cared. They understood what the community was going through and did everything they could to help soften the blow. But in the end, it was still up to the fans, and many of them chose to abandon Halo in favor of Bungie. The damage was done, and there was no going back. It's been over 5 years since the split actually occurred, but the memory of Bungie is still in the minds of many. It's true, though, that an entirely new community has developed around 343 Industries since then. Some of these new faces never even knew the world of Bungie or how inclusive it always felt. They never knew what it was like to know that while you were surfing the forums, posting, and making connections with other fans in the community, Bungie was right there with you every step of the way. They were listening. They were watching over all of us and determined to give us a gaming experience that could never be matched by any other brand or company. Halo wasn't just a phenomenon, and it wasn't just Bungie's either. It belonged to all of us. The road ahead wasn't going to be an easy one. 343 knew they had some pretty gargantuan shoes to fill, and while they knew they could never be Bungie, they were still determined to let us know that Halo was still in good hands. And that's what we'll be talking about in my next video. The long road to recovery and the impossible battle that both 343 Industries and Halo fans alike were about to endure. Alright, well thank you guys so much for watching. I've been reading the comments and it's awesome to hear about your own personal takes with each phase of Halo we've been traveling to throughout this whole journey. And I want you to tell me how you felt when 343 Industries took over. What community did you follow? And ultimately, which side did you choose? You can let me know your own thoughts in the comments below, or you can tell me on Twitter and Facebook. If you aren't already following me, links are in the description below, and I'd love for you to join me in the Halo conversation. And if you like this video, please share it with your friends so we can get this conversation going. Remember, we are Halo, and ultimately, we can shape it the way we, the fans, want it. And if you enjoyed today's topic, you can hit that subscribe button for more video game related content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on MythicTyrant.com. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I'll see you right back here on Monday. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.